Thanks for checking out this edition of This Week in the World of Football, coming to you live from the fabulous World of Football Man Cave, located in the center of the football world, Kalamazoo, Michigan. The purpose of this podcast is to promote the game of football in all its many forms, past, present, and future. We hope to educate, inform, and entertain you with the glorious buffet that is the world of football, while also keeping a close eye on the rich history of the game. You can find the show after it's aired live on a multitude of podcasting platforms, as well as right here on YouTube along with past shows. If you want to connect with us, just find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Threads. Those links will be down in the episode description. Remember to comment, like, and share this video. If you have thoughts or comments during the show, drop them into the live chat and maybe you'll see your name on screen. If you have questions and they are deemed appropriate, they'll be answered at the end of the broadcast. So without further ado, let's kick off this week's show.
Hello again, everyone. This is episode number 409 for September 2nd, 2025. And I'm your host, Randy Snow. On this week's show, Micah Parsons is traded from the Cowboys to the Packers. The matchup is set in the European League of Football Championship game, and the Arena League's Hot Springs Wiseguys will have a new name in 2026. But I'm not here all by myself. Across the internet from me, in another part of Kalamazoo, is my son, Adam.
Hi, how you doing? Nice shirt. You have a good Labor Day?
Thank you. Yes. Interesting story that we'll get to when we do our CFL segment about the end of that game, because you were over to the house and I had the game paused. So we'll tell that little story.
Sounds good. Yeah. I hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend. I did, in fact, have a burger in one hand and a CFL game on my phone in the other. So I was living the dream yesterday for Labor Day here in the States, where we only spell it with an O and not an OU like up in Canada. So
yeah. That's their way of doing things up there. It's fine. All right. Not only do we have this weekly podcast, but we also make YouTube videos. We currently have over 600 videos on our YouTube channel, with the newest ones being surprise, surprise, an episode of Just Lying Around, number 60, that you and Kyle finally got around to doing last week.
Got them wrangled up. Yep.
Let's see. You also did your video on ranking the NFL rivalries uniforms, which I thought was pretty good.
I did. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know. I just like uniforms. I like talking about them, and I've been kind of waiting to see what they did, because I knew it was either going to be a bag of crap or it actually might be kind of cool. And it was mainly a bag of crap. But I mean, and then our buddy Royce, obviously at Viking Wax Press, did a great he just did the helmets. He didn't do the uniforms. He just did the helmets. He got his video out today about those, and then the other alternate helmets the NFL's wearing this upcoming season. So good stuff for people out there who like the uniform/helmet stuff. It's out there.
Yeah, you and Royce actually make a pretty good team. He's doing the helmets, you're doing the uniforms, you're covering everyeverything. Maybe I'll do.
Who's to say that we don't have maybe we have something in the works coming down the pipe in a couple weeks. We're working on something. So
okay, very good. We also have some upcoming videos, mainly our CFL Weekly for weeks 13 and 14. Week 13 is actually going to be part of the show today and next week. I don't know if we'll do it as part of this show next week, or we'll go back to doing our separate one for the rest of the year.
We should be able to go back to normal next week. I know I've got my vacation/wedding this weekend, so it might be a little tight, but we'll make it work. Because as far as I know, and then also Kyle and I should be doing a live edition of Just Lying Around after the Lions game on Sunday. So I'm coming home Sunday, watch the Lions game, do that with Kyle, and then Monday we should have a schedule. I thought about putting out a social media post with the schedule coming up, but I might not have time for that. It's been a whirlwind over here.
Yeah, this is a crazy week between Labor Day and CFL games on Monday and a college game last night and everything. It's just been crazy for it's thrown our whole schedule off this week. So I don't know what else to say there. Let's see. We've also got our NFL picks video coming up.
Oh yeah, that's coming up too this week. Yeah, again live. So there'll be like 4 nights in a row of live shows I'm doing. Holy smoke, what have I done?
What have you done?
So Sunday should be, as long as everything works out with Kyle, the plan is to do that live after the Lions-Packers game. I'll just lying around. Monday night, we should get back to the Canadian Football League Weekly. Then Tuesday, this show. And then Wednesday will be live editions of our NFL Picks video. So if you guys want to hop on, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday night, starting tomorrow night, will be our first edition. There's also the social media post up already on the YouTube community tab if you want to drop your picks in early. But of course, feel free to stop by during the live show, drop in your questions, your thoughts about the games that week. We'll try to sit around and entertain as much as we can. Usually we try to get in and out with those, but we'll make a little time if people want to chit chat. So that's the plan. And then you have a history lesson coming up. I just got to edit it. You recorded one, and I'm going to get that out before I'm away all weekend.
Yeah, because my history lesson is about a CFL game coming up this weekend. So
yeah,
hopefully we'll get that out.
Do you want to tell people what it is? What game are you talking about, Randy?
Years ago, we did a history lesson, but it was just an audio history lesson about the CFL's Banjo Bowl. And I thought, well, it's coming up this week. I've already got the script made because we did it, I think, like in 2023 or something like that. And just reworked it a little bit, recorded it on camera, and sent you a bunch of pictures and videos for you to pick some stuff out there. And so, yeah, hopefully you'll have that done before you go off to your hippie music festival.
Yep, we'll see. It should get done by then. I promise I'll try.
That's all we can ask.
That's all right. We can ask.
All right. Well, let's begin our weekly tour around the world of football. And we're going to start off this week with the European League of Football. Did you want to take this one to begin with?
Sure. I'll start with this one this week, guys. Yes, it is the semifinal round of the European League of Football playoffs. 4 fantastic teams. And we start off with the Nordic Storm going in and taking on the Vienna Vikings, who were one of the best teams all year. And the Vikings came out on top of this one, 28-20 to go to the championship game. That was on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we had the Stuttgart Surge upset the Munich Ravens 27-13. So a little bit of an upset, but the Surge, I believe, were in the championship or won it a couple years prior. I can't remember. A few years ago, I believe they were in it or they won it.
Yeah.
I forget the top of my head. But, yep, so a little bit of a shocker because the Ravens were very good this year. They were one of the top teams all year long, and to get upset at home is a bit of a shocker. And that sets up this year's edition of the ELF championship game, which will actually be played in Stuttgart. I knew it was a neutral site game, so they had this pre-planned, and now the Surge will get to play the championship game in their home arena.
No, actually, when I was looking at where the game was played last week, where the Stuttgart home game was in a different arena last week, and now they're moving to a much bigger arena in Stuttgart. So it's in the same city, but it's in a different stadium in the city. So
gotcha. Okay.
So it's kind of neutral site is kind of a
it's still applicable. Applicable.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah, and my Nordic Storm, I rooted for them all season long. They had a great season, and they came this close to getting to the championship game. So I was a little disappointed that they lost that game. But Vienna's been a good team all season long.
Yep, and there were highlights of these games. I saw them. I was like getting ready to watch them, and I kind of ran out of time. But they were longer highlight packages than I remember them doing. Like usually they have like about 7-minute highlight packages for each game. These ones were a little longer, 12, 13 minutes, I want to say, for each of them. So if you get a chance, go watch the highlights, guys. And then next weekend, championship game should be entertaining, should be a good one, as the Surge will take on the Vienna Vikings. So that should be a great matchup. I expect fireworks to be had.
Yeah. Yeah, that MHP arena where the championship game is going to be played, I think it holds anywhere from 55 to 65,000 people. So I think their regular stadium was like, there's probably soccer stadiums all around town, and they just have one of the smaller ones for their home games. But now that it's a championship game, they're going to a much, much bigger stadium to play that. It'll look better on TV.
Yeah. All right. Is that it for the ELF?
That's it for the ELF.
All right.
So this is a point in our show where we're going to switch and we're going to talk about the Canadian Football League. we have scores and some news from up there. And in the past, we've done a separate video, and then we would talk about it again on our show. We already have done our video, but this week, like I said, things are really messed up, and so we're doing it here. So let's just get into the games. There were 3 games over Labor Day weekend. There was 1 on Sunday and 2 on Monday. 2 of these 3 games were just so incredible.
Oh yeah, awesome games.
I got to watch all 3 of them. I don't know if you watched all 3 of them or not, but I did.
I caught bits and pieces of 2 of the 3, to be honest with you, and then I had to catch up with highlights for the 3rd. So
yeah. Well, anyway, this was week 13, and this was Labor Day weekend, so only 3 games. On Sunday, it was the Saskatchewan Roughriders over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers by the score of 34-30. And this is 2 teams that are in neighboring provinces. The Roughriders are in Saskatchewan province, and the Winnipeg is in the Manitoba province. So they're right next to each other. That's where the rivalry comes from. They're pretty close to each other. And this was the 60th Labor Day Classic game between these 2 teams. And there was a record crowd there in this game in Saskatchewan, 34,243. Just incredible. That you've been saying you want to go to Saskatchewan for a game. You would have loved to be there for this game, because I'm sure that crowd was crazy.
It was insane. And not to get too far ahead of us, there's a play we're going to get to where it was a fantastic shot of a player running down the sideline, and you just see the sea of green with even speckles of like the blue Blue Bomber fans in there, and it was just incredible. And before the game, they had that awesome flyover in that one. So just chef's kiss. What a way to start the weekend. They had that I forget the announcer's name. You remember all the announcers' names, I think, but they had the announcer for this game was incredible.
Was it Rod Smith? Or
it might have been. I can't remember their names.
Yeah, Rod Smith was one of them. I can't remember the other guy's name. He's so excited. He's like out of breath by the time he's done talking about a great play. I forget his name, but Rod Smith
all the announcers in the CFL are great, though. Like they're all fantastic.
Right. All right. So the game was just a back and forth game, very close. So all you need to know about is like one of the last plays of the game, with 30 seconds left and being down 32-30. Winnipeg went for a 2-point conversion. They just got within 2 points, scored a touchdown, and they were going for a 2-point conversion that would have tied the game up and possibly sent it into overtime. But the pass was intercepted by Saskatchewan defensive back Tavon Campbell, and he returned it 112 yards for 2 points for Saskatchewan. Just incredible. I reposted the play when I found it on Twitter or X, and so you can find that on our feed. But what an incredible play! He looked like he was wide open, but the head defender just ran right in front of him, snatched that ball, and was gone. Absolutely incredible play.
Close the gap, and that's the play. Yeah, he's running down the sideline, and it was just a great, panning shot of him running, and you just see the sea of fans, not an empty seat to be seen. Absolutely incredible. It's just what a way to end it. And then there was still time on the clock for Winnipeg to try to do something, but even then, that taking that 2-point swing and making it, instead of like they needed a field goal to win it on an onside kick, like if that would have just been an incomplete pass, they would just need to get the onside, try to get a field goal. But that changed everything. Like at that point, even if they got the onside, you needed a touchdown. So
And like you said, there was time left on the clock, but the Saskatchewan defense just stopped any momentum that Winnipeg might have had to try and score a touchdown and win the game at the end. But man, oh man, what an exciting ending to that game. We'll talk about some of the stats here. Quarterback Trevor Harris for Saskatchewan was 17 of 27 passing for 219 yards and a touchdown. Running back A.J. Ouellette ran the ball 18 times for 89 yards and a touchdown. Wide receiver Tommy Neild had 3 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown. For Winnipeg, quarterback Zach Calaro was 26 of 37 passing for 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. He was also sacked 5 times in the game. So that defense, like I said, they were harassing him all game long. And finally, wide receiver Nick Dembski had 7 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown. So, just an incredible way to kick off Labor Day weekend up there in Canada in the CFL.
Oh, heck yeah. You could have asked for a much better way to start that weekend off. Like, I was like, if the rest of the games are even half as good as this, we're in for something special. And let me tell you, this next game that we're about to jump to was pretty sticking awesome. Like,
Yeah,
it was pretty great.
It was. And our Toronto Argonauts were playing at Hamilton in this game. This is the Battle of Ontario because both of these cities they're very close to each other, but they're both in the province of Ontario. They also had a sellout crowd. They had 25,619 in Hamilton for this game. Hamilton led 27-25 with 7:08 left in the game. Hamilton also led 33-32 with 18 seconds left in the game. And I kind of thought that this is all over. They're going to stop them. They can't possibly score. And that's when you happened to come over to the house. So I paused the game with 18 seconds. And so I didn't know what happened until after you and your fiance had left. And you wouldn't tell me what happened, but you just said, you'll be surprised at the ending. And I went back in, hit play, and oh my gosh, this ending was incredible. Let's see. Toronto got a good kickoff return after being down by 1 point now. They had a long catch and run that brought it to the 4-yard line, and with 1 second on the clock, there's a long story there about how this happened, but with 1 second left on the clock, kicker Lyram Hiralahu kicked an 11-yard field goal as time expired for the 2-point win in Hamilton. Just incredible. On that long pass play, the guy caught it, and he was running towards the sideline to get out of bounds to give him a chance for a field goal. I mean, they were already in field goal range, but he tried for a touchdown, and luckily he stepped out of bounds at the 4-yard line with 1 second left. Because I'm not sure if he actually would have made it in the end zone, but at first they said, "Oh, the game is over," but then they looked at the replay and he stepped out of bounds with 1 second left on the clock. So they gave him the ball at the 4 and allowed him to kick the field goal. What a wild ending to that game.
Yeah, it was, because I was checking out some of your renovations and I saw you had the game paused and I saw the timestamp on it. And I was like, he's literally like, he pushes play and it's this crazy ending. Like you literally pause it like the moment the poop hit the fan.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd wait till the game because I had the game on delay anyway. Because I was doing other stuff, so I was trying to watch the whole game. And you came in and there was 18 seconds left. I said, "Well, crap!" But I wanted to have it done before you came, but timing was off. What an ending to that game! Oh, I was so happy.
Yeah, so I think had he not stepped out of bounds there, he would have gotten the touch. He hit the pylon. I figured it was a touchdown at first, but yeah. He did get lucky. He's so lucky that his foot was out of bounds with a second to spare. Otherwise, he'd be the pariah there in Toronto. Like, way to lose us that game, bud. Like, if he would have just gotten out of bounds a little sooner, but it worked out. And what a heck of an ending to that game. And what was it that quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell was like 7-0 on Labor Day games?
Yes.
And now he's not
anymore. All right, looking at the stats from this game, Toronto quarterback Nick Arbuckle was 33 of 40 passing for 352 yards and 3 touchdowns. Running back Spencer Brown ran the ball 10 times for 90 yards, and wide receiver Jake Herslow had 6 catches for 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then for Hamilton, quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell was 27 of 37 passing for 405 yards. 3 touchdowns and an interception. Wide receiver Keandre Smith had 7 catches for 171 yards, and wide receiver Kenny Lawler had 9 catches for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. This was just a wild game. A lot of fun to watch. Broke the hearts of the Ticats fans that were there on Labor Day. Looked like a beautiful day. Everybody was having a good time, but Toronto just broke their heart in the last 18 seconds of the game.
So many great plays, like you said, a lot of great catches, a lot of great defensive plays. And there was even that play where, Toronto picked up an interception, the guy's returning it, then he fumbles it, and then the heads-up play by the Hamilton offensive lineman to just swat the ball out of bounds to keep it in possession of Hamilton because he's the last one to touch it. heads up play. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
mad respect. That dude, what a heads up play. It's awesome.
Yeah. Go check out the highlights from, if nothing else, these first two games of the weekend. But man, oh man, just so much fun to watch these games.
Yep. And then as we're about to talk about the Calgary game, a rookie in the chat, I thought the Elks were going to give the Stampeders a good fight, but boy, I was wrong. The battle for Q was way better. It was. So these I went into this game thinking if Edmonton could somehow pull it off, they might be a team worth talking about, but the Stampeders are just too darn good.
Yeah. Yep. And that was the last game of the weekend, the Monday night game, actually 6:00 Monday night Eastern time. But Calgary Stampeders over the Edmonton Elks by the score of 28-7. This was the Battle of Alberta, and this was the 64th Labor Day matchup. The record was tied 31-31 and 1. So this is a very even series over 64 years. Did I say 65? It was the 64th one. Over the years, these two teams have been battling on Labor Day. Wow, what a series! In the third quarter, Calgary return man Eric Brooks returned a punt 85 yards for a touchdown, giving the Stampeders a 20-7 lead, and Calgary just kind of cruised to that 28-7 win after that. So it was kind of all Calgary all game long.
Yeah. I mean, what can you say? Calgary there was never a doubt, I think, at any point that they were the ones who were going to take this one. I had my hopes for Edmonton before the game started, quickly dash. So
because Cody Fajardo had won 3 games in a row for them, and this would have been 4 in a row. So he was kind of on a hot streak, but boy, oh boy, Stampeders just had their number this week.
And Stampeders, the second best record in the West. Second best record in all of Canadian football. So this team isn't a team to take lightly anyway. That's why I figured if the Elks could have given them a run for their money, that says a lot about the Elks. But I think now we got to say, well, I think the Stampeders put the Elks in their place.
Yeah, really. Looking at some stats, Calgary quarterback Vernon Adams was 13 of 23 passing for 162 yards and a touchdown. Running back Dedrick Mills ran the ball 17 times for 106 yards. And wide receiver Dominic Rhymes had 2 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown. For Edmonton, Cody Fajardo, the quarterback, was 21 of 33 yards. 21 of 33 passes for 255 yards and no touchdowns. He also ran for 44 yards. Wide receiver Arkell Smith had 7 catches for 81 yards. Kicker Vincent Blanchard kicked 2 field goals in the game, but his longest one was from 52 yards. So that's impressive.
Yeah.
And then on by, it was I'm sorry, go ahead.
2 field goals and a rouge. I mean,
yeah, that was all the scoring for Edmonton. 2 field goals and a rouge. Yeah. That's too bad. And then on by this week, we had 3 teams on by: the Montreal Alouettes, the BC Lions, and the Ottawa Red Blacks. All right, so let's take a look at the standings now after Labor Day weekend, after Week 13. In the West Division, it's Saskatchewan at 9-2, Calgary at 8-3, Winnipeg at 6-5, BC at 5-6, and Edmonton at 4-7. And then in the East, it's the Hamilton Tiger Cats at 6-5, Montreal Alouettes at 5-6, and then you got Toronto at 4-8, and the Ottawa Red Blacks at 3-8. So it's still anybody's game in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, like I said, depending on how that 4th spot in the West goes and how that 3rd spot in the East goes, I mean, we talked about it for several weeks now. We could have a potential crossover situation, but if Toronto keeps improving like they've looked the last couple of weeks, and they've shown flashes of, I think Toronto could make it, but we'll have to wait and see. Anything could happen. Who knows? If British Columbia gets their act together and can just edge the Argos record out, I mean, we're in for a finish. I mean, we're Week 13. We got 8 weeks left, 7 weeks left, so it's getting down to the wire.
All right, so upcoming games for this coming weekend, Week 14. On Friday, it's the BC Lions at the Ottawa Red Blacks. On Saturday, it's Hamilton at Montreal. It's a triple header on Saturday, actually. You got Hamilton at Montreal, you got Saskatchewan at Winnipeg, and you've got Calgary at Edmonton, with Toronto on a bye this next week. Every one of these games is going to be on CFL Plus, and only one game is going to be on CBS Sportsnet, and that's the Friday night game, BC at Ottawa. I'm sorry that they don't have the Banjo Bowl on regular TV here in the States. That would be a lot of fun. But that's and that's a rematch of this week. So, great game they played this week. Now they get to play it again, and this time it's for charity. And then also the Edmonton Calgary game is also going to be a rematch from this week. So 2 games that are rematches from this past weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, so when you guys are watching your college football this upcoming weekend on that Saturday, make sure you have your TV with your college game that you're watching. Make sure you get CFL Plus loaded up on your computer, on your cell phone, and then have, one of these games ready to go, because I'm pretty sure that Banjo Bowl will not disappoint. That Banjo Bowl should be a good one.
Yep. All right. And that is it for our Canadian Football League section. Good night, Canada.
All right. Yep. Love you, Canada.
All right. So now we're going to move on to college football. This is week 1 in major college football. Some of the smaller divisions actually had already played a game or two. But we're going to start with the biggest game of this past weekend, which turned into an absolute dud. Number 3, Ohio State upset number 1 Texas 14-7. All the talk was about Arch Manning going into this game. Oh, he's going to win the Heisman. Oh, he's going to win a national championship. Oh, he's going to be the first player picked in the draft. And boy, he did not look like any of that in this game. Did you watch this game at all?
I caught a little bit of it. I was shocked when I tuned in, and it was only 7-0 in like the third quarter. So it was a defensive battle. Don't get me wrong. I love seeing these 2 powerhouses to open the season. I love that a lot of these schools did that this year, and this is the trend. We're going to talk about these games. And yeah, sorry, we don't have graphics for these ones. There's so many sticky college scores. I just got overwhelmed, and we're just like, just throw up a college football graphic, and we'll just talk about it. Because there's so much. But I was watching this game, and I was impressed with the defenses of both teams. Ohio State did just have a little bit more firepower. I was like, Texas, just, man, they couldn't get nothing going. Arch Manning was still like he was trying to find a rhythm, but I don't know. He could blossom into something, but it was game 1. I also hate the fact that we're ranking these teams. That's always kind of been my problem. Like, how do we know that this is the best team? Texas didn't look like the best team in the country. Sorry. Now Ohio State will be the best team in the country, probably for the rest of the year until they get beaten. So what are these rankings? They shouldn't do the rankings until we get to the college football playoff. The rankings that matter. Like, why don't we wait till we go 10 weeks and then you have enough of a sample size to determine who's the best team? That's my big thing. Otherwise, a bit of a snooze fest with this game. A couple of good electric plays, but on the whole, I was like, man, do something, you 2 schools.
Yeah. This was awful to watch. I mean, every time Arch Manning got out there, he was overthrowing the ball. He was getting harassed, and he looked terrible. Stats wise, he was 17 of I think 30. Yeah, 17 of 30 passing for 170 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. But going into the fourth quarter, I think he had less than 100 yards passing. He was just looking very, very bad, and that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid. Oh, you're going to win the Heisman. Oh, you're going to be the first pick in the draft. Yeah, he looked absolutely terrible. And like you said, he may blossom into being a great quarterback, and all these things might happen. But boy, it sure didn't look like it after that first game. That was a hard one to watch. Oh, he also ran for 38 yards.
Yeah, Leonard in the chat. The Texas-Ohio State game was indeed a dud. Looking forward to competing with you too, Royce. Oh, okay, you must be talking about our weekly NFL picks. They got some chatting going on in the chat. So,
yeah.
But yeah,
I was gonna say that I did see that the new rankings are already out for the Associated Press, and spoiler alert: Ohio State is the number 1 team now on the new ranking.
Shocker! God, I don't care. God, these rankings are stupid till week 10.
I think Texas went down to number 7, but I would have put them down even farther than that after that performance.
I see that. Like, I think if we're gonna have these big powerhouses play this early, they need to get rid of these rankings. I know that's flashy. That's better for drawing people's eyes, but I think if you just get the schools together, it doesn't matter what you rank them. So, or wait till after week 1 before you rank them at the least. But my God,
Yeah.
like, why can't we wait till we have a bigger sample size? Because, like, I don't know how good Texas didn't look like no number 1 team. They could still maybe at the end of the year be better, but it was week 1. It's like a preseason game almost. You know, these guys are getting their first live action against an opponent. Like, it's not like the NFL where some guys get to warm up for 3 weeks. It's like they're just thrown straight into the fire week 1. And I don't know. We'll see where these two teams end up. Ohio State, I don't think they'll be as good as they were last year, but like I said, it's week 1.
Yep. Looking at some more scores. Number 10, Miami of Florida upset number 6 Notre Dame, 27-24. I did watch a good share of this game too.
Yep. Same.
Again, this was another game that came right down to the end. It was pretty close, but Miami found a way to hold off Notre Dame at the end of the game there.
Yeah, Notre Dame was like clawing their way back into this one.
Yep.
Like because that night we had our fantasy football draft, so we did that, and our hostess is a Notre Dame fan, so we put the Notre Dame game on. We sat and watched that. Notre Dame was down for a little bit, but then before everybody kind of left, it was getting to be late, and they started climbing their way back, and I saw that they tied the game up, and then Miami just kind of sealed it up there at the end, buttoned up. But that was a good one. There was a lot of great plays in that one, a lot of good catches. So.
Yeah.
And then Dale in the chat real quick. I agree with Adam. See, I think that's all I have to read. I don't understand college football at all with the rankings, and that's why I don't enjoy it. At least in other leagues, you know what teams are good and what teams are bad. Well, It's not a perfect system, but I mean, I don't mind the rankings. I just feel like they have to get a better sample size. Is all I'm saying.
Yep. Let's see. Looking at some other scores from the FBS. Florida State upset number 8 Alabama 31-17. Number 9 LSU upset number 4 Clemson 17-10. Number 14 Michigan over New Mexico 34-17. The only reason I'm bringing this one up is because the attendance in this game. The attendance was 110,648, and this was the 324th consecutive game at the Big House with over 100,000 fans there. That's just incredible. I mean, you and I have been to the Big House a couple of times. They pack that place up, and it's incredible. We've been there sometimes. We got there so early, we were like the only ones in our whole section. And boy, by the end of the game, you were just elbow to elbow and got your knees in somebody else's back, and you're just packed in there. But wow, what a place!
Did you watch the Michigan game?
I watched a good share of it. Yeah.
Okay, I am not a Michigan fan. I am not a Michigan State fan. We do claim ourselves as Western fans, but I root for all the Michigan colleges. I think Dad's the same way. So I was watching the Michigan game. My future father-in-law is a Michigan fan, and at one point we were on the phone with him watching the game, and I was just impressed with the quarterback, whose name I'm already forgetting at the top of my head. He's a freshman from a high school in Michigan. He was like the top recruit. He looked great. I was like, this guy looks way better than J.J. McCarthy ever did. Like, I was actually really impressed with this dude. And I'm actually interested to watch more Michigan football just because of this kid. And they said 3 weeks ago he turned 18. And here he is starting a major college football game in the Big House, like
in front of 100,000 fans.
In front of 100,000 fans. The nerves that this dude's got to have. So I'm like curious to watch this guy now from freshman and see what he does over the next couple of years and see how he grows, hopefully. Before we move on, we do have somebody who threw a score in the chat. I guess I'll bring up. Maryland defeated Florida Atlantic 39-7. We all know Leonard is a Maryland fan, so we'll give him his Maryland some love right there.
Okay.
But continue.
Yeah, when I saw that this Michigan game was on, I was trying to find, I wasn't sure what channel it was on, so I'm flipping through channels, and I saw that there was a Detroit Tigers game on at the same time. And my brother Bob, your uncle, he loves the Tigers and he loves Michigan. So I texted him real quick and I said, oh my gosh, what a conflict. Who are you going to be watching? He goes, I'll be watching the Tigers because I know you'll be watching the Michigan football game. And he was right. I did. All right, let's see. Moving on here. TCU over North Carolina, 48-14. This was Bill Belichick's debut on Monday night. And these two teams are actually going to kick off the 2026 season in Dublin, Ireland next year. Who knows if Bill Belichick's still going to be there or not. But I stayed up and watched this game last night. And boy, what a what a snoozer that was for North Carolina fans. And by the end of the game, that stadium was empty. But boy, those fans packed it to begin with, and by the fourth quarter, they were all leaving. Like, yeah, we've seen enough of this.
The jokes that flooded in from this game about his girlfriend,
Oh yeah.
and their age gap, oh, the point differential in this game is just as big as his age difference with his girlfriend. At one point, there was video of her on the sideline talking to Bill Belichick. Like, who? Not even like Andy Reid's wife goes down on the field and talks to him during the game like that. Are you kidding me? The gall of this chick, dude. I do not know what is happening there. Maybe she just needed a $20 bill to go to the concession stand from him. I have no clue what was happening. But
hey, those hot dogs are pretty expensive. Weird.
Especially now with him as head coach. Let's see. Leonard, you are so right, Adam. I have family who attended Maryland and some who attended Towson University. Okay, Leonard, that's awesome. But yeah, like I didn't watch that game last night. I saw how big of a blowout it was because I was going to tune in just to see how Belichick did. And his first game with the Cleveland Browns as a head coach kind of went about the same. He was blown out in that too. So I'm not going to write Belichick off.
Right.
I mean, I think it'd be good for football if he actually turned that program around a little bit, or at least showed some fight this year. But maybe it'll be the great train wreck. I don't know.
Well, that's what you get when you've got this media hype machine that hypes up all these matchups and players and coaches, and they usually get it all wrong, and they get people all up, hot and bothered about. Oh man, I can't wait to watch it. I was ready to watch Arch Manning. I wanted to see how good he was, and what a letdown. And of course, everybody's tuning in to see Bill Belichick, and very disappointing. So, yeah.
Hold on. As much football as we watch across the entire world of football, I mean, and any other football fan out there, anybody watches understands there's so much hype that can go into a game. Whether or not it actually lives up to it is infrequent. You might get the occasional like one or two games that actually live up to the hype, but for the most part, we all know like it just gets so overhyped that we're like, it's just another game. Like that Ohio State game. Yeah, I mean, it was a slugfest. It was a little bit of a dud, but like, did you really expect it to be like 45-43 going into the fourth quarter? How many times did that happen? It's so rare. You just got to know, like, just keep your expectations in check and you won't be disappointed. Like, just know anything can happen. It's football. That's why we love this sport.
Yeah. The last score I've got from the FBS level was Michigan State defeated our beloved Western Michigan Broncos by the score of 23-6. I actually have tickets to this Friday night's game. They're playing. I forgot who they're playing. It's like an FCS team.
I'll look it up for you.
But it's either Rhode Island, because I've got tickets to see them play Rhode Island in a couple of weeks, and then this week's North Texas.
Yep, University of North Texas.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got tickets. I still haven't found anybody to go with me because you're going to be out of town getting married this weekend. So I got to find somebody else to go with me.
All right, live chat. If you're in Kalamazoo, Michigan this Saturday, who wants to go with Randy? We're giving away one free ticket and the best seat in the house, which is on the left side of Randy. I always sit on his left, I think, when we're at these football games. So,
well, that's only because I like being on the aisle. Because if I want to go up and get a soda pop or a hot dog, I like to be able to get up and go without having to bother everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll ask Kyle. I'm just going to ask Kyle and see if he wants to go.
Well, hold on. Is it during the Michigan game? Because he'll probably tell you no.
I don't know if it is or not.
See, there's your problem. Take my sister with you. There you go.
Yeah, she'd be fun. Let's see. Oh, I do have some blowouts. Yeah, get a load of these blowouts here from the FBS level. USC over Missouri State, 73-13. Missouri State is an FCF team, a lower level team. All these blowouts came against lower level FCS teams. Boston College over FCS Fordham, 66-10. Missouri over FCS Central Arkansas, 61-6. Number 22, Iowa State over FCS South Dakota, 55-7. Interesting note from this game, Iowa State kicker Kyle Conradi made a 63-yard field goal in this game, setting a new school record. The kick occurred as time expired in the first half. So congratulations to him. 63-yard field goal in college. That's pretty darn good.
I'm gonna raise my hand. I forgot about this story. I can't believe you just totally blew by this story from the Western game. Western Michigan makes history with the first player to have his name on the back of his jersey in Arabic. I didn't know this till I watched that game. I didn't know this till I saw Western post.
I saw it after the game too, like you did.
I just think that's cool. I mean, we had the Arizona State player a couple years ago that had Chinese writing on the back of his jersey, I want to say, and now we got somebody who has Arabic. I think that is so cool. Yep. And it's cool that it was Western Michigan that did it. So I just wanted to throw that out there before we got too far on the scoreboard. And the fact that to Kenny at work, who kept dogging me because he kept saying that we're going to eat horse meat because we're going to beat your Broncos so bad. Suck it. We covered the point spread and good teams cover.
Okay, a little inner office rage Kenny. Going on there.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last blowout I have is number 12 Illinois over FCS Western Illinois 52-3. So I hope all you FBS schools are really proud that you beat up on a lower level team. Good for you. Let's see. Oh, the three military academies played. Get this. An FCS school, Tarleton State, defeated Army by the score of 30-27 in double overtime. So, man, all the folks at Tarleton State are going crazy over beating Army.
You think they're doing the Carlton dance?
Huh?
You think they're doing the Carlton dance?
The Carlton dance in Tarleton? I don't know.
It's right there.
Also, Navy defeated FCS VMI 52-7, another blowout kind of, and then Air Force defeated FCS Bucknell 44-13. So, man, I hate this early part of the season because everybody is front loading their schedule with FCS teams, even though Western Michigan's doing it too, and that's the two games I'm going to. But a team that plans to be in the national championship should not be front loading a bunch of lower level teams on their schedule. They should be playing all the top 25 teams all year long.
This is an argument we have every year that they need to just restructure college. That's why I'm saying we need two divisions. We need a gold and silver. We need all these top tier teams. Your Power 5 teams just need their own. Just go there. All of you play each other, and then leave your Mid-American Conference teams and some of the group of 5 schools do their thing, and maybe you only get one game, like where Western and Michigan State play. One crossover, that's it.
Right.
For each school. And then you just play the teams in that, in the gold and silver. We have 2 different national championships at that tier, and we go from there because Western's never going to win a national championship.
Right.
I mean, and it's the way the system is set up is like, oh, anybody could win the national championship. No, they can't because it's semi-rigged, and we know that there is a discrepancy in player talent, even though with NIL it's kind of changed. A Western could pay a bunch of money and get a great team together, but the odds of that happening, whatever. There needs to be so much to change in college football to get rid of that, because I do hate seeing the cupcakes get lined up. It's a good payday for the school. Don't get me wrong, good for them.
Right.
But there's got to be a better way to do this. Like anytime Alabama in their heyday was playing the Citadel or Mercer or the School of the Deaf and Blind, I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah. All right, let's move on to some of those FCS schools. Actually, the first one, the FCS school is playing a lower level Division II school, but this is like our new favorite team from FCS. It's the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. They go by UTRGV.
Heck yeah, send us a hat.
Yeah, this was their first season of having football at their school, and they shut out Sul Ross State, the Lobos. By the way, the UTRGV, their mascot is the Vaqueros. I'm not sure what that is, but Vaqueros. And then they were playing the Lobos, Sul Ross State, Division II school, and they beat up on them 66-0 in their inaugural game in front of, get this, 12,726 fans. So good for them. Next week, maybe have a little bit better opponent and have a little closer game.
So I looked it up for you. Do you have a guess on what a vaquero is?
Vaquero?
Yeah.
It's probably like a cowboy or something.
Yeah, you're exactly right. A cowboy or a cattle driver.
Okay,
So not a big stretch for being down in Texas. So
sure. And then the other score I've got from FCS was Lehigh over Richmond, 21-12. In years past, I've done
14.
Huh?
21-14 was that score, by the way.
Oh, 21-14. But in years past, I've done three scores from all the lower levels, and I'm just going to do 2 this year, just because I feel like it.
Yep. That, and when I start doing graphics next week or the week after, it'll make it easier on graphics.
Well, I think what you're doing here with this graphics is fine because
It's boring.
so many of these things.
People want
change
graphics, Randy. They need different things. Our attention spans are short.
Yeah. All right, moving to Division II, Grand Valley State over Lincoln of Pennsylvania, 45-9, and Davenport over Gannon, 21-12. Both of these schools, Grand Valley and Davenport, are about an hour away from us here in Michigan. So we've been to Grand Valley, have not been to a game at Davenport yet, but
We should, since we know the head coach.
Yes, we know the head coach.
Friend of the show, by the way, Sparky McEwen there.
Sparky, former head coach and offensive coordinator for the Grand Rapids Rampage. Yep, he's up there doing a great job as a head coach at Davenport College. Division
III. His wife at the Arena Crown. She was a lovely lady.
Yes,
too.
we did. His wife was one of the executives of the Arena Football One. So,
yep.
Didn't she invite us to come up to some pizza place that they're getting involved in? So yeah,
she's just being friendly to you, Randy. She doesn't want to see us ever again. Come on now.
Now all I can think of is getting some pizza. Dang it! All right,
all I've had this weekend.
Division III actually doesn't start until this coming weekend, so there were no scores for Division III. So moving on to the NAIA, the Campbellsville Tigers from Kentucky over the St. Francis Cougars of Indiana, 31-28. I actually know some people at St. Francis down there in Indiana, so that's why I like talking about their scores, because I've been to a game down there. Beautiful little stadium down there, gorgeous, right by a river, and it's just a great setting. And then Dakota Wesleyan Tigers over Dakota State Trojans, 16-14. That was NAIA scores. Then in junior college, we've got our beloved Snow College from Ephraim, Utah, over Highlands Community College of Kansas, 37-6, and Iowa Western over Georgia Military, 39-20. Now we're going to move back up into Canada for some college scores in Canada. We've got the Western Mustangs over the Guelph Griffins, 53-33, and it was the Regina Thunder over the Calgary Dinos, 43-36 in overtime. And moving down to the Canadian Junior Football League, it was the St. Clair Saints over the London Beefeaters, 62-27, and the Okanagan Sun over the Kamloops Broncos, 70-3. Whew. That's it for the scores, but we do have a couple of news items here. Last weekend, as most people probably know, was Lee Corso's last ESPN College Game Day show. They had some really nice tributes to him. He was on there, and I was afraid he wasn't going to pick Ohio State at the end, because being in Ohio State, they might have thrown beer on him or something, but he did. He picked Ohio State, and they won. And that broadcast of that game had I don't know if it was a record, but they had 3.5 million viewers tuning in to watch Lee Corso's last appearance on College Game Day. What an institution he's been over the years.
Yes, he was. And I believe all his picks they did during that game, he nailed every pick. I think he was 100%. So that's awesome. What a way to go out. And then I saw a graphic. It was really cool. His first ever putting the mascot head on was the Buckeye.
Yes.
And his last one was a Buckeye. So how poetic. That was awesome. It's going to suck not seeing him on College Game Day when I tune in. I think they got some decent personalities on there, but there's no other Lee Corso out there. It can't be duplicated. So that's a bummer. You hate to see it, but at some point we got to move on to a different era, and unfortunately that's now. It sucks.
Well, our friend Trey at Off the Wall posted a nice little video that he found of Lee Corso doing an arena football game, one of the first ever arena football games on TV. So that was kind of cool. And I always remember Lee Corso as the head coach in the USFL. Was it the Orlando Renegades? It was a team in Florida. So I think it was the Orlando Renegades. But Yeah, he was a head coach in the USFL back in the 80s. And that what hasn't that guy done? and then he's on
Right.
College Game Day for what, 30 years, 40 years? I don't know.
Something like
Forever.
that. But
Yeah, he was there at
right,
the
yeah.
very first day that they did College Game Day. So
I'm trying to see
and then
right
the
here.
other
Yep,
stories.
Orlando Renegades. Yep, 1985.
Yep. I remember him being on the sidelines and talking to the refs and all that. Okay, the last news item I got is next year, the 142nd edition of The Game, the annual football matchup between Harvard and Yale, will be played at Fenway Park in Boston on Saturday, November 21st, 2026. So this year, I don't know if it's a Harvard or Yale this year, but when I saw that, I'm like, why? I mean, I know they've played the game at Fenway before. I know it's a big deal, but I would like to see it stay at either Harvard or Yale. Just keep going back and forth between those two great stadiums. They got historic stadiums. I think I know Harvard Stadium is a national landmark, but I think Yale is also. But yeah, I don't like the idea of them going to Fenway to play the game.
Oh, I'm indifferent to it. I won't be there, but I think it's cool to change up the venue like that. But that's just me. I'm not going to be as crotchety about it as you.
I want to go to a Harvard Yale game sometime.
That'd
I'd
be
like to go
awesome.
to one at each of the two
Same.
stadiums.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as fun to go see a Harvard Yale game at Fenway Park. It just doesn't appeal to me at all.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't turn it down.
Okay, that's it for college football. So we have one more thing for scores. Our friend Greg St. James is providing us with a video, and do you want to introduce him, or shall I?
Hey, we'll let it speak for itself. But I mean, we did this last year, and now this year with us doing this shows live, and we'll see how this goes. We've kind of partnered with Greg, and we're going to highlight the stuff he's been doing over there at Gridiron Japan, and we have a new video segment. You know, Greg was gracious enough to send in, so we're going to play that, and we'll see you guys on the other side as soon as I get this all loaded and ready to go. So we'll see you then. Oh, and I probably should have sound with it, right? All right, and here we go, everybody. Randy, shut up.
And now we're off across the Pacific, where our man in Japan, Greg St. James, has all the news from the land of the rising sun.
Hey, everybody, it's Greg St. James here with Gridiron Japan, and I am here to give you the Week 1 scores for both the X League and for the Collegiate game here in Japan. It is officially September 1st here in Japan, and the last weekend of August had both the Collegiates and the X League playing their opening weekend slate of games. So let's get right into it, shall we? In Super X League play, we had Friday under the Friday Night Lights was the kickoff for the X League. We had the Fujitsu Frontiers winning 37-0 over Fujifilm Abina Minerva. And for the rest of the weekend slate, we were both on, which occurred on Saturday and Sunday. The Panasonic Impulse were 70-0 winners over the Fukuoka Suns. The Obik Seagulls won 51-0 over the All Mitsubishi Lions. The Najima Rise were 41-17 winners over Oriental Bio Silver Star. And then the Sexy Sui Challengers were 17-14 winners over the Elecom Fineys. And then we had one game in X League area play, and that was the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department Eagles, who were 19-7 winners over the Shinagawa Bullseyes. Next up, we had in collegiate play, we had in the Kanto Student American Football Association, the Hosei University was 17-3 winners over Chuo University. Meiji University won 45-10 over Keio University. Waseda University 48-7 over Tokyo University. And Rikyo University and the University of Tokyo both ended up with a tie. In the Kansai Collegiate American Football League, it was Kansai University 17 over Kyoto University was 6. Ritsumeikan University 49-17 winners over Dosha Isha University. And then perpetual powerhouse in the collegiate ranks, basically the Alabama of collegiate football here in Japan. The Kwansai Gakuen, I just say KG. We just say KG here in Japan. But KG University was 52-7 winners over Konan University. And then lastly, we had Kinki University was 23-10 winners over Kobe University. Next up in the Tokai Collegiate American Football Association, it was the Chukio University 42-0 winners over Nanzen University. Nagoya University was 28-13 winners over Gifu University. Meiju University 54-0 winners over Shinsho University. And then moving on closer to my neck of the woods, it's the Shikoku American Football Association, in which Yamaguchi University was 81-0 winners over the Yamaguchi University of Science. And then the second game that the league played for the weekend, it was Kochi University 36 over Ehime University 7. And then lastly, we had the Hokkaido American Football Association up north, which is basically Japan's version of Wisconsin, for lack of a better description, but with mountains. Hokkaido Gaikuen University was 26-14 winners over the Obihiro University of Agriculture and Veteran. It's a big mouthful here. I apologize. The Obihiro University of Agriculture and Veterinarian Medicine. They scored 14 points, and Kushiro Public University was 35-6 winners over the Tokyo University of Agriculture. Hokkaido University was 66-0 winners over the Muroran Institute of Technology. And then lastly, the Hokkaido University of Science was 39-0 winners over Sapporo Gakuen University. So with all that said here, hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in for this very quick 5 minute or so scoreboard here on Gridiron Japan in association with our friends over at the World of Football. And hey, to learn more about the American Gridiron game here in Japan, check us out before anyone else who claims they know anything about football here in Japan. There's at least one or two pretenders who want to learn about, who are very interested in the game here, but unfortunately they don't kind of have the insider knowledge that we here at Gridiron Japan have. So if you were looking to learn more about, American football in Japan, or our podcast or our live stream on YouTube, we are at gridironjapan.jp. We are at gridironjapantv.net, gridironjapanradio.net. On Facebook, we are at gridironjapan.jp. And on Instagram and Threads, we are at Gridiron Japan. So, hey, with all that said, we are close to the 6 minute mark here at for the scoreboard. So for everybody listening, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll have more scores for you next week. With all that said, take care, and see you soon. Talk to you soon.
Gridiron Japan.
All right, there we are. Hey, thanks to Greg for doing that.
Wow.
We will put up his segment by itself on the YouTube channel. He will have his own little playlist for if you guys want to go back and catch up with what he's got going on over there at Gridiron Japan. Obviously, go follow him. They do a show very early in the morning, I've noticed, obviously, because they're over in Japan. There's a big time difference. But they do a show. I've caught it a couple of times while I'm at work in the morning, and I'm just like, got some football to listen to. Give Greg and them at Gridiron Japan a listen. They get some good guests. He just had one of the head coaches on one of his recent shows. So Greg's a very passionate dude. You've hung out with him. him and I've been going back and forth about getting this all set up, and I've learned quite a bit just in the last 24 hours alone about some of the stuff that's going on over there with Japan. So a lot of fun stuff. We appreciate it.
In the past, we would do the X League scores and maybe a couple of college scores. I did not realize there were that many colleges that were playing football. I mean, so many different divisions and whatever. And some of the pronunciations, I'm more than happy to let Greg run through some of those pronunciations, because I would have said, I can't pronounce that one, so I'm not going to give that score.
Yeah. And I picked my Superman shirt today because he wore that for the video he sent me. I was like, you know what, I'll throw on my Superman shirt.
Out that you were both wearing Superman.
Yep, I did that for Greg because we're both a couple of comic book nerds. So
okay. Well, thank you, Greg, and you can go to sleep now. It's probably middle of the night over there, wherever he's at. So that's it for the scoreboard this week. Finally, after an hour, we're finally done with scores. So we're going to move on to a few other stories, more happenings in the world of football. And let's see. In the NFL, the big story this week was Micah Parsons, the defensive end from the Cowboys, being traded to the Packers for 2 first-round draft picks and defensive lineman Kenny Clark. Parsons' contract with the Packers is a 4-year deal worth $188 million with $136 million guaranteed. That makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history at $47 million per year. This whole thing came out of nowhere because everybody kept saying, Jerry's going to pay him. He's, they'll come up to a deal sometime before the first game, blah, blah, blah. And so when they actually wound up trading him, I think everybody was just shocked. And I was upset that he went to the Packers, that we're going to have to play him twice a year. But I thought, well, Detroit beat Dallas pretty bad last year when they had Micah Parsons. So I guess I shouldn't be too worried about him.
Hey, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but one player is not going to win you a Super Bowl for Green Bay. But I do think Green Bay got a good deal out of it. I mean, you only had to give up a couple of first rounders. And even then, if Green Bay is as good as they potentially could be, they're late first round picks anyway. So what's Dallas going to do with them? They'll probably just botch those picks when they come down to it. Jura Jones is probably going to just blunder that. So I don't know. I hate the Cowboys for even trading him to our division. So screw you guys.
Yeah.
But he's also dealing with an injury. There was a lot of people saying that, that this injury was fake or whatever, but apparently he has been dealing with a back injury. He'll probably still go week 1 against Detroit. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But it'll be interesting to see how the Packers look with him now. And Dale in the chat, I feel bad for Cowboy fans. I guess they're still all in. Now I guess they're still all in. I don't know. Cowboy fans are a delusional bunch. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Every year's their year till it's not.
Yep.
But
yeah, that was.
I don't know. Well, go ahead.
No. You go.
Oh no, you go, Randy.
I was going to move on to the next story because I've kind of felt
you ready? I thought I thought you were going to have more about this, but
no.
Yeah, we'll see what this. Yeah, I just don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see. Week 1, we get to see him. So I do think it's interesting that his number, he's going to wear number 1 for the Packers now instead of 11, which belonged to, who's it, Curly Lambeau wore that number, right?
Yeah, I think they said nobody's worn it since Curly Lambeau played in the early 1920s.
I think that's interesting. I think that's, that'll be fascinating. And it'll be, I saw they put up the picture of him in the throwback jersey they're doing with the leather helmet that Green Bay's going to wear this year to kind of harken back to that. So that's kind of a cool thing there.
Yeah.
So
that is the coolest thing about Green Bay right now is that helmet they're going to be wearing that looks like a leather helmet. Other than that, no thanks.
Packers suck.
I didn't want to say it out loud, but thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, moving on. We've got one story out of the Arena League. The Hot Springs Wiseguys are going to rebrand and become known as the Arkansas Diamonds. I don't know why. I thought the Wiseguys fit that league pretty well. You got the Ozarks Lunkers, and you got the Wiseguys there with the horse and all that. I don't know, but I don't think I like the Arkansas Diamonds as much. It doesn't really fit that league.
I don't know. It seems, maybe it seems a little more professional. I don't hate the name. It's different. How many teams out there called the Diamonds? No. And they are a horse racing town out there. And doesn't the diamonds refer to, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the chat, doesn't that refer to the horse racing still? I don't know if that's the name of the track or if that's like a terminology around that. But regardless, I think it's still themed around that. I know they got an ownership group because I think they were owned by the league or run by the league for the season, and then an ownership group purchased the Wiseguy. Again, chat. Let me know if I'm wrong. So I get it. You want put your stamp on it. Change the name a little bit, rebrand.
Okay.
I don't hate it, but we'll see. Remember Royce was dogging the Wiseguys for how bad their helmet was. So I think they can only go up in terms of their helmet style this upcoming season. So I'll be curious to see what they do and where the TAL expands. So apparently, according to Leonard, the Arkansas Diamonds was once an indoor football team. So I did not know that. I guess I'll have to go back and do my research.
Yeah, I don't recall that name as an indoor football team, but so many of them.
I was gonna say there's been so many throughout the years that any Joe Schmo could have had an indoor and arena team over the years.
Okay, and then the last story that we've got today comes from Arena Football 1. The AF1 re-signing period is officially open. I think it opened yesterday. First of the month. Teams have until midnight on September 15th to re-sign players from their current rosters. So every year they have to re-sign all their players. They don't give them 2 or 3 year contracts. It's 1 year at a time. And so this is the period where they can re-sign players if they want, or if a player knows they're not going to be re-signed to the new team, they've got plenty of time to go look for a new team. So that's just the way the structure is set up. So until the 15th, they can start re-signing the players that they really want to keep on their teams.
Yep, and then even we don't have this on there. I mean, I believe it was Rebound Off the Net on Twitter posted some of the transactions that have happened. At least that's where I saw it. The Kentucky Barrels had their first signing, who was quarterback John Luke Bailey from Kentucky.
Local boy. Yep.
Sorry, from Drake. He played at Drake. But he is signing with Kentucky. The Beaumont Renegades have signed quite a few guys. Malik Jones, Ryan Hibbets, and Trey Taylor to their roster, including Carl Robinson, Xavier Crawford, and Zuri Davis. So, Coach, oh my God, why am I blanking on
Corey
Mayfield's name? Yeah, Coach Corey Mayfield getting right to work there with the Renegades coming over to AF1.
Well, they had a really good team last year, won the NAL title, so why wouldn't he want to keep a bunch of those players?
Right, and then Kentucky also signed an offensive lineman in Malik Malloy from Lincoln University, and the Washington Wolfpack got Felagoga, I can't even pronounce his name, Russell, an offensive lineman there, also from Lincoln University. So a lot of stuff happening in the AF1. We're still waiting on news from that Michigan team. Everybody's kind of wondering what's happening with that one.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is, if something's happening with like an arena deal, it's just something's roadblocking that. I mean, God, I just want to know what's happening with this Michigan team real bad, Randy.
Well, it's been a week or so since the AF1 has made any announcements. Kentucky Barrels was the last team, so it's about time we heard something else on another team, either moving somewhere or somebody coming up with a new team. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
Leonard in the chat, do you think the Arizona Bandits will be joining the AF1 anytime soon? I'm going to give that a big fat no. I think that team is dead, and because I think Zach Keelman, I've seen him he was on AF1 Fan Zone not too long ago. He's worked with that team before that all went south, and I believe they're as dead as a doornail. So, yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what teams the AF1 actually does add this year, and if some team, Billings is going to go somewhere, so where are they going to end up? Who knows?
That's true. I mean, I can't say much. I've heard some stuff. We'll see how that all pans out. Until it's official. Like with any of this, that's what you hesitate. You hear stuff, and I would hate to ever say something just for it to be like it's not what it turns out, because so much happens behind the scenes. I know there's so much going on, guys, that yes, we all want to know. Unfortunately, how about we let them get their ducks in a row before we just start blurting stuff out there? Yes, we've heard some of the rumors about certain teams leaving, about what cities are getting teams, but why don't we let things finalize before we just jump out there and be like, because because so much changes. Like, just think about the initial announcement. They said Ohio and Michigan. And what's happened? We're still waiting on the Michigan, and the Ohio team turned into Kentucky because it's right across from Cincinnati. So let's just let things play out and just relax. I think we'll be fine. I don't think we need to hit the panic button yet, despite what some other pundits on some other indoor arena shows have said. I respect the heck out of them. I just don't agree that we need to be pushing the panic button just yet.
Right. Yep.
And let's see. Where Billings goes is anyone's guess, and even I have no idea. I'll just say from the
well, if Leonard doesn't know, who knows?
I have no idea. All I know is I will say, from what I heard, it could be a surprising location. We'll see. And by surprising, I mean maybe they end up staying after all. Who knows? Who knows? Anything's up in the air. Like I said, we don't know until it's finalized. Right. It's all hearsay at this point, and I don't even believe the stuff I've heard until it's right there in front of me.
The anticipation is killing me, though.
I know that's what. It's unfortunate, but that's the thing that also a lot of people that do what we do, like we need this information to make content and to get the drive to our social medias or whatever. And I'm trying to avoid that. Yeah. As much as cool, as great as it would be to break a story, but I mean, let's just let stuff play out. I mean, let the anticipation for yourself be fun. It's fun to speculate. I'm not going to deny that, but I mean, they're only in year 2, guys. Let's just pump the brakes.
For the past 8 years, we've kind of stayed away from rumors and speculation, and we've only talked about the stuff that's come out as this is what the league is saying, that this is what they're going to do, not what everybody's been speculating on what a league is going to do. So we've pretty much stayed away from that, and we're going to continue.
Try to.
Do that. Yeah.
And sometimes it's fun to speculate. I mean, we're only human. We like to speculate and figure out, like, oh God, are they going to put a team back in Grand Rapids? Are we getting our Rampage back? Oh my God, I hope so. Stuff like that. And we've heard the rumors, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not getting. The last thing I want is to get my hopes up and then be let down. That's the worst. So, all right.
Well, we've been babbling long enough. Let's wrap this show up here. We've got today's birthdays and anniversaries. One thing that I don't have on the script here that I just saw a little while ago. Today is September 2nd, and it is the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. And a couple months ago, we did a history lesson on a Detroit Lions player who was actually serving in the Navy and was on the USS Missouri when the Japanese came and surrendered and signed the official paperwork. Douglas MacArthur was there. So I reposted that on our social media today. Go check that out, as today is the anniversary of the Japanese surrender after World War II. It's interesting story about a former Detroit Lions great who was there for that event. All right, today's birthdays. Quarterback Terry Bradshaw turns 77. He played his college football at Louisiana Tech. He was selected with the first overall pick of the 1970 NFL draft by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Played his entire 14-year NFL career with the Steelers from 1970 to 1983. Won 4 Super Bowls and was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1989. Longtime Fox Sports pregame show host. He was in the movies Smokey and the Bandit 2, Failure to Launch. Did you ever see Failure to Launch, Adam?
Nope. Wasn't he naked in that one or something?
Yeah, he showed his bare butt in that one. But
that was the selling point. That's what sold Randy on going to the theater. I remember that as a kid. I was like, Dad, that's weird. That's the hook for you to go to this movie.
Well, he was only made a few movies, but Smokey and the Bandit 2 was one of them. Failure to Launch, the movie the Cannonball Run, and he was also in a couple episodes of Married with Children where he played himself, of course.
Now that was peak Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, he peaked with Married with Children, I must say. Let's see, running back Eric Dickerson turned 65 today. Played his college football at SMU. He was the second overall pick in 1983's NFL draft by the LA Rams. He played 11 NFL seasons. He was with the Rams from 83 to 87, and he ran for an NFL record 2,105 yards in 1984, just his second year in the league. And then they wound up trading him to the Indianapolis Colts in 1987. So he was with the Colts from 87 to 91. He was with the LA Raiders in 1992, and he finished his career with the Atlanta Falcons in 1993, and he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1999. And finally, on our birthday list today, quarterback Tommy Maddox turns 54 today. played his college football at UCLA. He was the 25th UCLA 25th overall pick in the 1992 NFL draft by the Denver Broncos. He played 9 NFL seasons. He was with the Denver Broncos from 92 to 93 and the LA Rams in 1984, the New York Giants in 95. Then he kind of disappeared for a while, but he showed up in 2000 with the Arena Football League's New Jersey Red Dogs for a season. Then in 2001, he was with the Los Angeles Extreme of the original XFL, and actually led the team to a win over the San Francisco Demons in the $1 million game by the score of 38-6. He was named the XFL MVP in their one lone season back then. Then he joined the Pittsburgh Steelers from 2001 to 2005, where he won Super Bowl 40 as a backup to Ben Roethlisberger. Not bad, XFL champion and a Super Bowl champion. So not too many people have those 2 rings.
And when he had to fill in for Roethlisberger,
yes,
he actually had a stretch where people were like, "Shoot, do we keep Matt?" I remember that. Like, do we keep Maddox in? And obviously, Roethlisberger was still the starter, but I mean, he had a couple of streaks. He kind of, I won't say he revitalized his career, but he was a very serviceable backup quarterback that when he had to step up, did a very good job for a stretch. I don't remember his record, but I just remember him stepping in and us going, "Hey, we saw him play in the XFL." He was like the one guy from the XFL that got back to the NFL.
He was very good when he was with the Steelers. Yep. All right, and we do have 2 obituaries to talk about this week. This is where we take a moment and we honor those who made the world of football a better place. Our first obituary is that of Leroy Jordan, a linebacker in the NFL for 14 seasons, has passed away at the age of 84. Jordan played college football at Alabama and was the 6th overall pick in the 1963 NFL draft by the Dallas Cowboys. He was also selected in the 2nd round of the 1963 American Football League draft by the Boston Patriots. He signed with the Cowboys and played his entire career with the Cowboys from 63 to 76, winning Super Bowl 6 with the Cowboys. Jordan was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1983. Did you want to do this last one, or you want me to do that?
I'll do the next one. And our second and final obituary this week, guys, is that of Edward Toner, a defensive tackle in the American Football League for 3 seasons, has passed away at the age of 81. Toner played college football at the University of Massachusetts and was selected in the 18th round of the 1966 NFL draft by the Baltimore Colts. He was also selected in the 3rd round of the 1966 AFL Redshirt draft by the Boston Patriots. He signed with the Patriots and played for the team from 1967 to 1969.
All right, and finally today, it's our upcoming events calendar. Boy, we're getting full of events now. We had so many, we couldn't fit them all on this screen today. But the top 5 things coming up are the this Thursday night, September 4th, the NFL season kicks off. Cowboys at Eagles. Boy, that's go Eagles. I don't like either team, but I hate Cowboys more, so I'm I'm saying go Eagles. And then the next day, Friday, September 5th, our first NFL international game, the Chiefs versus the Chargers in Sao Paulo, Brazil. That game is going to be on YouTube, and that's going to be at 8 p.m. The very next day, Saturday, September 6th, the CFL Banjo Bowl is going to take place, Saskatchewan at Winnipeg. Then Sunday, September 7th, the very next day after that, the European League of Football Championship game, Stuttgart and Vienna going to be playing in that game. Then for our last upcoming event on Friday, September 19th, the movie The Senior is going to hit theaters with Michael Chiklis playing a real character, that a real person that actually did play college football at the age of 50-something. And so I'm kind of looking forward to that. And you want to talk about the other movie, the horror movie, which I could care less about.
I'm still going to it's him. It's called Him. I will still pay for your ticket if you just sit and watch the movie so I can track when you get up and walk out. I just need to know the exact moment that you're like, nope, done. I'll buy you a big bucket of popcorn too. You can take that home with you too.
Yeah, no, thank you. All right. Anything that you want to bring up before we close out today's show?
Another fun show. Still working out the different graphics and stuff. We'll we'll add some stuff here every week. We're, it's been real busy around here. Like I said, I've been getting ready for the wedding this weekend, and we're camping and going to our music festival. And so a lot, man, it's been hectic over here. Like as soon as I get done here tonight, I'll upload a few of the excerpts from the show. I think we got a few things to start packing and double checking. And then tomorrow night, guys, remember, come back to the channel, 7:00 Eastern time for the World of Football's weekly NFL picks for week 1. Play along and participate. We'll go through the games tomorrow night. Me, Dad, and Aaron will make his return to the YouTube channel tomorrow night. So very excited about doing that and talking NFL football with people. I mean, I love talking, arena, indoor, Canadian football, but there is a bit of me that's like, I can't wait to get back to talking a little NFL. And thank you, Leonard. Yes, I wasn't fishing for it. It's just gonna be a nice, quiet ceremony this weekend. So, yeah, I'm not saying I can't wait for it to be done just so it's over, but we're both kind of like that. Me and my fiance are like, we just want it to be done because we've practically felt like we've been married for 2 years anyway. So just, I'll just have a different ring when that happens.
All right. Well, that's all the time we've got for this week. Finally, don't forget to check out the World of Football merchandise at tpublic.com for the latest in football-related T-shirts, hats, mugs, and more from our merch store. Did you ever get those new T-shirts posted that you were working on?
I'm still tweaking them. Maybe I'll work on that tonight as well if I have time.
Okay. All right. And remember, folks, some people may love football more than we do, but nobody, and I mean nobody, loves more football than Adam and I sitting here in Kalamazoo talking about football. Join us again next time when we'll try and do a better job. Yeah, right. Until then, I'm Randy Snow.
And I've been Adam Snow.
And we'll see you all again next week.
Well, technically, we'll see you guys tomorrow night, but it's fine.
True.
Thanks again for checking out this edition of This Week in the World of Football. New episodes of the show are posted every Tuesday and can be found wherever good podcasts are available. You can find the World of Football on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Threads by searching for TWOF Kalamazoo or using the links in the episode description below. Be sure to subscribe to the World of Football on YouTube for more great football-related content. Just search for the World of Football Kalamazoo or use the handle @TheWorldOfFootball to find us. Remember, every like, comment, and subscription really does help us out, and we appreciate you for that support. We hope to see you again next time.